So this video is a continuation of the one that I just finished. The other one was getting long, as usual. But it has to do with being built up and experiencing heartache and pain and suffering. And it's hopefully I can keep this real short. But as an example, this virus that's going around, I know that we've had it. I can't promise you I've never been tested. And it really didn't do anything to us. And the reason why is, as an example, about 4 years ago, about 4.5 years ago, I had a virus or something that really hit me hard. I had fever and shakes and wasn't feeling good at all. And my dad happened to be here, and he's saying, you got to get the flu shot, and you got to do this and go see the doctor. And I was like, I'm just going to suffer through it. It's going to make me stronger. And I know that's why. We have to build up our immune system. We can't take the easy way out and take these shots and expect it to fix us. It's the opposite. You're putting trash in your body that's breaking down your immune system, so these viruses make it worse and worse for you. And on top of it, you're putting toxins in your body that make you more acceptable or susceptible to cancer and other problems. It's a no-win situation. Yesterday when I was crossing the border and looking at all these signs, and most of them are for plastic surgery or obesity, doing surgeries for that, or taking a certain pill to make you lose weight and things. The problem with people is we're always looking for the easy way out. And it's really not the easy way, because most of the time when you get these shots, they make you sick anyways. My dad, every time he gets a flu shot, he gets a flu. And I look at him and I tell him, it doesn't make sense to me. Why you do that? But he swears by it. And to each his own. You have the right to make whatever decisions you want. You have the right to believe whatever you want. God gave us that right. But just because you believe a certain way, it doesn't mean that it's right. Jesus is the way. You have to believe his way. When he says in John 3:16 that whoever believes in me will be saved, that's what he's saying. You have to believe that my way is the right way, and you have to practice my way. Your works have to be my works. And if they're not, you don't really believe in me. It's really that simple. So back to all the pains and suffering, I look at the same thing in spiritual life. What's made me extremely strong in my faith in Jesus is I've been through hell with him. As it says in Psalms 23, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, because your rod and your staff, they comfort me. King David also went through hell, running 8 years, hiding in caves and things. My time frame was probably about the same 8 years, of just going through one pain after another and fighting just to survive, basically. And God took care of me through it all. But it made me extremely strong. And nothing affects me anymore. In the last video I talked about when my mom died, it really was nothing to me. And it's because of what I had gone through before. When you get that strong with God, nothing affects you. Anything in this world can happen because your focus is not on the things of the world. What does it profit you to gain the whole world and lose your soul? Nothing. Your focus needs to be on the things of God, because the focus should be on where you're going to spend the rest of eternity, forever and ever and ever. And that is with God, if you're doing righteous works, if you're doing the things the way God shows you to do them. If you're not going to be with him. Everything God allows into your life, all these problems, all the suffering, is for a purpose. And it's designed to make you stop and think and become poor in spirit, where you're like, you know what, I'm just not doing things right. And that's why I have this problem. As said many times, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And that different result never happens because we keep doing the same things. What goes in is what comes out. As Jesus said, what comes out of the mouth of a man is what defiles him. But what comes into him comes in through the mind, and that's what's going to come out. If you put the right things in your mind, And that's what God's trying to do, is reprogram your mind so you start to think the way he expects you to think instead of the way you're thinking now. Because this world comes in from our birth and is filling us with all kinds of stuff. And it gets worse every year. Many times I've talked about how they're indoctrinating us, and I look at these young people especially and what they believe and what they think is the best way to do things. And most of it is, for example, with the vaccines. It makes no sense to me to put that trash in your body, but to them it makes no sense not to. And they think you're crazy, and they expect you to do it because otherwise you're making it where they can get sick because you're not willing to do it. And the argument is absolutely the opposite. I mean, I look at what the CDC is saying about this virus, and they're talking about building up the immunity so you don't get it again. But at the same time, they're saying you got to get a vaccination. Doesn't make sense. You either are immune or you're not. And the vaccine, if it really does work, which I would debate, it's not building up your immunity. It's making you weaker. It might protect you from this particular strand of virus that's come around, but it's going to do nothing to protect you from the next one. And then each one that comes that gets stronger and stronger, eventually it's going to get you. Where if you allow your immune system to build up, you'll be ready for it. You'll know how to fight it off. But regardless, the point is, or back to the main point is, if I've built up my immune system to it, I'm not going to get it, or it'll be mild. And also, if you have the vaccine and it really works, it doesn't matter whether I get sick from the virus or not. I can't give it to you because you have the vaccine. It's like a shield, right? And if it doesn't work, then why are you putting it in your system in the first place? Don't you guys see it's this lie that you want to believe? It's in you, and you believe it, and you can't see the truth that is like, well, this don't make sense. And this is where God comes in, because he comes in and it's a truth that will set you free, where you're looking going, what is this crap they're telling us? Because it makes no sense. If I don't want to get the vaccine and you get the vaccine and it really works, you're not going to get sick from me. So why are you worried about it? Why are you expecting me to do it your way? And the same thing with this lockdown and the virus. I've told many people, they're like, no, you got to stay home and you have to wear the mask. Why do I have to? I don't care if I get it. Well, you might give it to us. Well, how am I going to give it to you if you're locked in your house all the time? I'm not going to come to your house and force my way in. You're safe. So why are you worried? Don't force me to do things your way. Because the problem is, on some of those things, it's okay. I wear my mask when I go out. And we're homebodies anyway, so I'm not out in the streets all day long like some people would be. But the point is that there's many things that they're requiring us to do or expecting us to do, which go completely against the principles of God and what you'll come to know in Christ. And that's where the problem is. A simple example is, look at China. They have basically outlawed Christianity. So if you want to praise Jesus, you can. You just have to do it in the underground. Do it by yourself or in your house with a few friends that really know Jesus. But as far as the government is concerned, you can't do it. And there's restrictions like that on different things in the U.S. as well. As an example, there's a lot of places where you can't capture rainwater and you can't have your own garden, which is ridiculous. So you want to try to eat healthy and they're not letting you. They're making you eat the trash so you get sick, and then you have to take their medicines and you have to be part of the system. And God doesn't want you part of the system. He wants you part of him. One with him as he is one with the Father. And that's where we have to get to. And if you're not strong in Jesus, all this stuff that they're putting in you, the propaganda that's coming into your mind, it's what's causing you to have the wrong things coming out and to have the focus on the wrong things. The focus needs to be on Jesus. We need to seek first his kingdom and its righteousness, all the righteousness of God. And you'll see that his righteousness is way different than the things that you've been learning in this world. And then everything else will be given to you. Peace.